guys, welcome to this video. Thanks for tuning in and sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back. If you have, my intention is unity and oneness in the highest levels of love light. I'm just going right into a little car flow video right now, and I'm just going to give a quick energy update. We'll see what I have time for. I've got about 15 minutes. I just did a light language video yesterday. I posted it this morning. Usually the videos that I do are either the day of or the day before. There is so much going on, you guys. I've said this so many times, but it just continues to build on itself. So really take the time to replenish. I repeat myself a lot, and the reason my guides repeat themselves a lot to me, because we forget. I forget. So there's nothing, I've been exhausted pretty much every day this week. I feel, and I haven't looked up to see if this is true, but I feel it. I feel like we've had so much solar flare activity that it has wiped me out. So that's kind of where I'm at. Am I blaming it on the solar flare activity? No. Am I saying that it has certainly added to things? Absolutely. We're all connected to the cycles of the earth, the cycles of the planets, the cycles of the sun, and each other. So think about, if you're feeling just wiped, what's going on collectively? What's going on in your reality, or perhaps people that you love, and their reality? What's happening in those realities? What's going on planetarily, right? We can be oftentimes tuning into the emotions, the charge, the energy. We're going through our own physical upgrades. And what does that mean? Well, I worked with someone the other day who's got, I mentioned this in my last video, constant crown tingles, pain in the pineal gland. Other people are experiencing lower back pain, bladder infections, kidney issues. Some people are experiencing upper neck issues. Some people are experiencing tightness in the chest, which could be also heart related. It can also be anxiety and stress related. Just parking for a moment. So these are all just things to keep in mind. I've been experiencing, sometimes at night I get not full sleep paralysis, but it's where you're laying there and you just can't move. And I can move, but I choose not to in that moment. And I just choose to sit with whatever's coming in and allow my body the time to process it and feel into it. Dream time has been super weird, wonky, and overactive for me. So, when I did my little card pool, I do my animal cards, and the challenge for me, and I see this as a collective, I guess I'm just going to do an energy report here, is retreat. It's challenging for some of us to stop and go within and pull back because we've got so much going on in our lives. We're so busy with work or family or children or whatever it might be. We're being pulled to the rescue. And I say that not because of the victim rescuer mentality. I just mean we're helping each other out a lot. And we have to also make time for us to have friendships and to do things that feed our soul. And so this is really challenging also because our relationship with time has shifted. So it's a lot, you guys. It's here, it's everything. And we're constantly, for me, I'm being shown all of it. Meaning, you could go with this, you could go with that. My friend Saskia just shared that her husband had a dream where in the dream they didn't know where the teacher was. Who's head of the school? We can't find the head of the school, and you could basically go through you could choose two paths right now. And it was symbolic, so she shared it. My friend Candace and I have been talking about this as well, and Jess, that someone the other day found a coral snake in their yard, and the next day they found a king snake in their yard that I know. If you look up coral and king, they look identical, but they're not. One is highly poisonous and venomous and can kill you, and the other one is a scarlet. I don't know if it's a scarlet king or it might just be a scarlet snake. Either way, it represents recognizing. So this was symbolic for me. Recognizing just because something looks one way doesn't mean that's what it is. So obviously you don't want to have one, but the other one is perfectly safe and good to have around. So, and of course I don't like to kill any living creature, but if you've got kids or if you've got a pet in your backyard and you've got a coral snake hanging out, obviously we have to call for help and get someone to come and take it away, or you might have to get rid of it in order to better and protect your children, your family, your dog, yourself. So it's just recognizing these things. And it was so symbolic because this is what we're being shown. What the symbolism for me was, it showed up within 24 hours of each other. And I feel like we're getting choice points right now. Like, oh, I can see how this could be chosen right now. And I can see why it may not be the best choice. But I can also see how this looks like it's the same, but it's not. So I'm going to choose this path. Does that make sense? I mean, it seems so basic, but let's talk about this collectively, right? And I'm going to use my friend's dream. Not knowing where the teacher is, right? The head of the school. We don't know necessarily right now who's really in charge. So we think we know, but it looks one way, and it looks like the teacher is the person we should be listening to, but in reality, something else looks, you guys, I just went woof, poof. So let me talk about some more synchronicities. I think you guys get where I'm going with this. This is where discernment really is important. And I had a conversation with someone just the other day saying, if we were taught as children to be in our hearts and to use not only our logical, our right and left brain, and tune it into our heart frequency. I'm not talking sunshine and rainbows, love and light, airy fairy, as some people would call it, although I love the air and the fairies. This light, love everybody. Sometimes we have to be strong. Sometimes we do need to step up. It isn't always about just staying in constant meditation and peace with the flowers. Sometimes it requires us pruning those flowers. Sometimes it requires us using a little more fire than just air. Sometimes we're required to use more water than just earth. It's using all of the elements and all of the energies at our disposal for the highest and greatest good. Why am I sharing this? Because there are some people who are stuck in one and aren't aware of the other, and vice versa. It isn't always about fire. It isn't always about. So it's finding that balance and recognizing that all of us hold these balancing elements and capabilities within each other, within ourselves. And so we can sometimes help bring that out in the other person by us finding our own inner balance, by us making the right choices, by us tuning into our heart technology that assists us in moving forward and moving out into that space around us. I did a little guided heart meditation the other day, just impromptu. It wasn't that spectacular. It was just a visualization tool. If our leaders, if our parents, when we were kids, were taught to do this, many different decisions would be made. And we would see in a moment, we would feel, you know, that looks one way, but it's not necessarily the truth. So I feel in my heart, and that's logical thinking. I'm thinking about what I'm feeling. I'm using my brain and my heart, and then I'm moving forward because of that direction. I'm not just responding because my heartstrings are being pulled on, and I'm not thinking about why. Does that make sense? So a lot's going on, and I just went into like 5 different things about what's going on. I only have 5 more minutes, but essentially, we're being gifted an opportunity to see everything in front of us all at once. We can see the dark and the light. We can see the things we can learn from both. We can see those forks in the road. I don't know if I did the video about the forks in the road and the tree, and I'll have to do a different video on that. We can see all of these different choice points right now, right now, right now. And the amazing thing is, because our relationship with time has changed, sometimes we might make a choice because we're caught up in the emotion of the moment, what we think is our heart, but in actuality, it's emotions, okay? And those are connected, but what I mean is, I'm being guided to say, when we're charged and we're emotionally charged and we're triggered and we're feeling compassion, but we're not able to mentally be clear because we're in a space of triggered, we then react from that space rather than, when I say heart space, it's coherence, it's balance, it's finding, okay, I might be feeling emotional right now, but I'm not going to make a decision just because I'm feeling emotionally charged. I'm going to take a step back and feel into the bigger picture of this. I'm going to pull in my brain. I'm going to pull in my sensory capabilities. And then I'm going to move from that space. And if we all did that, we would have a different fork in the road, another fork in the road, another fork in the road. But at least we'd be going in a particular pathway in order to move into different choice points that perhaps were unseen or were unable to be felt into or were unavailable to us because of the charge we were holding before. Does that make sense? That now is available to us. So a lot of people aren't seeing that they've come off onto this branch, but they can easily get back to the other branches of the tree. Ooh. So I just kind of went into these different tangents. So giving ourselves the opportunity to see the snake in the grass and to make the decision and recognize through our heart, not just because of what that snake looks like and not deeming it as bad or good, just recognizing that it is part of our reality. So what do I choose to do with this choice point in this now moment, right? And you guys, the symbolism to that goes so deep. We've got snake is transformation, shedding old skin, Kundalini activation. When we're going through all of these upgrades and we have a lot of help. I keep getting the messages when I do sessions. I'm seeing all angles, all angels. I'm seeing and feeling everything. For certain people, is it like our guides are really available to us right now. They've always been available, but in a different way than what we're used to tuning into. So we have to calibrate and do our heart math and do our meditation and take 10 minutes to breathe in order to listen from that deeper space to then move into our own shedding of our own skin, moment to moment to moment. So I've only got 2 more minutes, but does that make sense? About 3 more minutes. So recognizing when we're in a period of transformation, recognizing when we're going through a period of shedding our own skin, it's gonna feel naked. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel out of place. But at the same time, literally, it can also feel lighter. It can feel more exhilarating. It can feel freer. But at the same time, we're almost immediately moving into another aha moment, another cycle, another activation, another solar flare, another presentation in our reality that puts us back into a completely different cycle that essentially is happening now. So we're moving through things and into things and out of things so quickly. It's literally happening now. We might have just gotten through something, let's say it's a breakup, and we are all of a sudden at a brand new stage in our life now. And we're like, whoa, I might not be ready for this. I'm still processing this breakup. I'm still processing this loss in my life. But here I am already in this moment being gifted this opportunity that I have to take. I have to jump into this, even though I'm still shedding my old skin, and I'm still integrating that. So that's the message, one of them that's coming through. So you guys, it's a lot. It can be overwhelming. We are all truly doing this together at the same time in our own ways. So doing whatever we need to support ourselves is so important before we can support others in the collective. Yet at the same time, we are supporting the collective and each other by supporting ourselves. But at the same time, we are being given opportunities over and over again to also speak our truth, to share our ahas, our dreams, our feelings of expansion, our feelings of loss, all of it now. So I might do a video. I'll go do a couple videos this weekend. Sunday, I'm doing Sunday soul. I'm going to be doing Soul Signature Saturdays, and I'll be doing some more double bubbles next month with some other beautiful light workers. And then my dear sister and friend Candace and I, every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time, approximately, we're attempting to try to do it every Sunday. Video together live, either on Facebook or YouTube. I'll share the links. I'm still learning all of that. So if you guys feel called to join, we just talk about our synchronicities. We talk about our own journey, but we also go into a little bit of flow about what's happening collectively. Also, I wanted to share, well, there was more, but I kind of lost it. Whoop, went out the window. Squirrel. We can go literally, I'll do a second video. So in love and light, guys, namaste. Drink a lot of water. Take a nap if you need to. Calibrate. Recognize that it's not just you. Recognize that there's nothing wrong with you. If you do feel like there's something wrong, go to the doctor. Don't avoid it. Because if there is something going on in your body, it's probably going to show up for you right now. But I feel like a lot of people are working through it pretty quickly. I have people that I work with who are literally have had serious health issue scares, and they worked through it, they got through it, and they're fine. I have others that have that are not, and they're really, really struggling. And that's where people like us can help. Whatever we need to do, but at the same time, again, focusing on us so we don't get stuck in this space of incoherence. That's the key. And recognize if we are, it's okay, right? We're going to have those moments where we're like, whoa, this is so much. I just have to unplug. I cannot be there for you today. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my marbles. And having the power to say that and recognize that is equally important. And if somebody doesn't understand that, well, that's on them, you know? So, all of the stuff that's happening, all of these energies are really pushing us into a whole new direction, into a very expansive place, but it's very uncomfortable right now for a lot of us. So in love and light, guys, namaste. Thanks for tuning in.